Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Tom Mizzle. You watching my channel, Mizzle 14, and I'm here doing a review of Law and Order SVU Special Victim Unit Season 20, Episode 3. Now, it's actually Episode 4 because the first episode I did on the YouTube was actually 2 episodes in one. But I numbered it as number 1. And last week I did number 2, so this is going to be number 3. So actually this is episode 4, but I'm gonna label it as episode 3. Now, this was a good one, and fortunate and good thing that they had too many side stories. Like I said, when I do Law and Order reviews, I'm not gonna do so much of the side stories that happening, like Benson and her son, or Rollins with her pregnancy and her kid, and Carizzi and on what their own side stories, or 80 Stone and how his coping. But that's gonna be not gonna be in the videos. I'm just gonna talk about the case itself. Now, this episode is mostly just about the case and about the story and situation. It's very complicated, so I hope y'all bear with me. Now, it opened up when we had this couple. We had a couple named Rick and Ann. Rick and Ann was about to get their freak on. They was having a good time and stuff like that. And then they get a knock on the door. So if they was just really expecting anybody on a bell, Rick got up and went to get to the door, and when he opened the door, it was a pizza delivery guy. He didn't say he didn't order anything, so he would say, "Shut up, Chad," and then pistol whipped Rick in the head. So when pistol whipped Rick, he knocked out and conscious, and then he went to see Ann. So Ann was got scared because he had a full suit on, and he had a motorcycle bicycle helmet. And had a visor, so you couldn't see who the hell it is. But it knows that it shows the gun, so she had to be scared of her life. So that person eventually raped her. And so Benson came, and then Rollins was there questioning what happened. The guy Rick couldn't remember what happened. All he said, he saw the police delivery guys. He didn't order any pizza. And all this time that he got hit in the head, and next thing he waking up, that he saw the cops there. Question the cops. Now, Ann was like, she didn't know what happened, like he couldn't rape me, and all that craziness, and she didn't know what's going on. She had to say, he said he was so shut up, stupid, and take this, and it was crazy. So they stopped, and they revealed that her name was Ann and the guy named Rick, but the guy kept calling them Chad and Stacy. So they was like, Chad and Stacy. It's like they thought it might be the wrong person. They probably hit up the wrong apartment. So they went downstairs and talked to the concierge, and the concierge said, "No, I know all the people, and there's nobody named Chad and Stacy." But they did have a Chad in the apartment, in the complex. So they went to talk to that person, Chad, and he had a name. He had a girlfriend named what's her name? Bianca. And it wasn't too much about that wasn't really relevant. But all we know that he was a Chad. There was no relations to the person, whoever did it. But Bianca revealed that she didn't have a affair on Chad, and it maybe couldn't have been him. Named Jake. They went to see Jake. They got him because he had the gun. They was questioning him, and in the midst of the questioning him, they got another call and said it was another attack that happened. So the person they was interviewing wasn't even the person. So they had another attack, and come to find out, they was called Chad and Stacy. So I was like, hold up, what happened to that? The same MO and everything. Now we know that this person had a motorcycle helmet. He had a gun, and he was posing as a delivery guy. So all we think was one person. Now, then the next couple, what we get was Piper and Beth. And Piper and Beth. And I think I got his name wrong, so I'm going to call him Piper. So Piper and Beth was talking the same MO. He went to the door, but this time the boyfriend didn't go to the door. Beth went to the door, answered the door, and let the guy in. And then the guy pistol whipped Piper. Same thing he did to Rick. And then he raped Beth. So I was like, oh, this is crazy. I said, damn, 2 attacks in the same kind of vicinity span. And 2 attacks. So it was like, okay, she said the same thing. What happened? That she revealed that she couldn't do much. So it was like, they took her to the hospital and got examined. Now, they talked to Beth again about anything she could tell us what happened or anything was going on. Because before they went there, they went back to the thing and they were trying to compare notes. They said both these people had no relationship with each other. They both was called Chad and Stacy. Now, Carissy found on the website and he was saying maybe there's not too much about, I think Finn or Carissy, one of those two found the website and said, you know what, I don't think it was too much about they calling them name Chad and Stacy. I think that's a set of names of people, the guys who are the incel group, the guys who have all they're supposed to be wanted, not be rejected, have every law, and the woman has to be submissive and to obey and everything and be there for whatever the guy needs. So it was kind of like a group that had this kind of like a profile of male dominance, omegas, the big top people, and it was like they may feel because they got a rejection, and then the rejection may cause them to act out on the rejection towards these people. So maybe that's where the connection where this Chad and Stacy's coming from, and it was just like analogy towards the Chads is the alphas and the megas and the Stacys are the people who are supposed to be obeying the Chads and everything. So it's like code names for them. And so it's like a male dominated group basically. So they went to Beth and asked her, did you know anybody who had you rejected, who you turned down or something? Because it was revealed that this person maybe had been rejected a couple of times or something like that. And so maybe that person named Stacy rejected him too many times, and he was named Chad or something. So he took it out on the people and saying, reminding him that who Chad and Stacy is. Now, so she said no, but she said she did went to this, I forgot what it's called. It was a 2-mansion that it was basically where you go, a bunch of adults apply, go in there and have a drink and stuff like that, and then you met somebody you like, you go hook up with them. You can leave and go hook up. And so she was there, and then she remembered this one guy who was rejected, and he was not get in. So he asked, I guess she told him, she asked him, can you act like you be my date and let me in? She said no and got in. And since then, he been following her. Been following her, what she do, where she was going, where she lived, where she worked. It was following her. So she realized. And then she said, who this person's name was Riley. And she said the person who arranged the freaking mansion parties, the guy. So they talked to the guy who arranged the mansion parties. After all the talking, he finally pulled up his phone and realized he had a lot of applications people had to apply and everything. And she did remember a guy named Riley Potter who'd been rejected a couple of times for the party. So I was like, okay, now we get a name. We call the name called Riley. Now we was thinking that Riley's probably the one who did all these 2 rapes. Now they was sitting there and talking to Riley, and they was questioning him and everything. And all of a sudden he was like, he being smug about it. He said, well, I don't think that could happen. They said, why? He said, well, rape is no such thing. There's no such thing as rape. And I said, oh my gosh. He's one of these people. It was like, oh, rape is not a thing. You can't rape somebody. Woman's there to be submissive. Woman's there to be there to please us. And our women's right to be life, love, and pursue happiness. And this is my happiness. Sex is my happiness, and you need to give me my happiness. So whatever I need, I should be getting. I should not get rejected, and I go to take what I'm going to take. So basically, that's what it was. Like, these people was taken because whatever reason they probably was rejected in their life, and they deserved the happiness they needed to. So they went out to get these couples who they feel that it may be or the Stacys or the girls who like Stacys, who probably rejected them at some point in their life, and they felt that rejection. They felt that they should deserve the life that they should be given, and the fact that somebody else is taking that life that they should be wanted, it gave them the power to do what they act they did. So I was like, oh, so like that. So they was questioning Riley. They get another call, and this time it's a third victim. So I was like, oh, what the fuck? All the people they interviewing probably not be the people who's doing it. So, but Riley is part of it. But let's get to it. Now, Riley was there. They was questioning. They got another call. This time, the MO changed. It was another vape, but instead, the guy shot the boyfriend instead of pistol whipping. Because remember, the first two MOs of the first two cases was the guy got pistol whipped and then he raped the woman. This time, he still raped the woman, but he shot the boyfriend. So it's escalating now. So I said, oh snap, crime is escalating. So they went to talk to Carol. Carol explaining the same thing and saying that he came in and the other guy, all that stuff, and the name called was not the call that the first two had. It was not called Chad and Stacy. This time he called them by their personal names, and he said when he shot him, he said shoot John, and it said John. They would say why did he change the MO? So how come the first two it was called Chad and Stacy, but now it called John and Carol by their regular names? So it's like they saying that this person was personal. They knew them. This person knew them personally. Now I was like, oh, that was that. Now they talk about the incel, that the computer thing. So they was looking online, checking the thing, and they realized that it was a chat room, and I forgot the name, as in penis power, penis. It was something like that. Phallus. I think phallus power, phallicism power, something like that. Phallic. It's something with the word phallic. I think phallic power. So I was like, that kind of name was kind of weird. Phallic power. That means like men power, men dominance. Phallic means the male anatomy. So it was like phallic power. I said, oh, I see. So basically supporting the rape culture, supporting this kind of dominance, revenge thing, and is the revenge is the motive of them doing these acts. Now, since it's not a group, it sounds like it's not like a one person thing. It sounds like it's a group of people that's doing this, and it's like the connection crimes is like it's hard to determine that, because you need to find out the connection with these people and all that stuff like that. So when they would question Riley again when his mom looked up, it came to be about, it was some things, because it was like Carol mentioned it, and that's what made it seem like it was more complicated. It's more than one person, because he said, well, Carol said when she was getting raped, she said, the person said his friend Riley would have liked this. So it suggested it was probably another person. Now, I was like, oh, okay. So Riley, the one that got holding, is the one who didn't do this rape. So Riley had to rape somebody else. Now, it was thinking that Riley raped Beth, but that's not the truth. Let me tell you what happened. Now, like I said, it was going to get more complicated than this. So when Riley was talking and everything, he said something that they got him. They was questioning him. They were telling him about the website and all that stuff. And it was a name called Hate Me. What was the name of it? Hateful One. Hateful One, his friend, like that. And Hateful One, and his name was telling you was next, and he said okay. And so who is this person is? And Riley said this person's name was Chris. Now the connection is Riley showed a picture of. They showed Riley a picture of Beth, and he said he didn't know the girl. He didn't know her. And I said, oh, how he didn't know her? So I think he showed a picture of Beth or showed a picture of Carol. But he said he didn't know the girl, Carol. Oh, you know what? He showed a picture of Carol, but he said he didn't know who Carol is. Now, because it was trying to get him in another car, you say, you know what? The person mentioned that friend Rowley would have liked it. And you was Rowley, so who was your partner you was working with? And they was trying to get him because you say, you know what? If it was happening, this person gonna go down for murder. Murder for thing. Because it's not just rape anymore. This person shot and killed John. Because John didn't make it. He didn't live. Because when they questioned Carol in the hospital, she was in the hospital and she was talking and everything, and they were trying to save him, and they found out he didn't make it. So she was breaking down, crying or something. So that's how they got Riley. So Riley gave a name like Chris, who he was working with. Now, there was another name called Ironclad, who was the head leader of the group. And he's the head honcho or stuff like that. But he didn't know who he is. Chris may know who he is. So they got Chris at his mother's house, arrested him, took him there, was questioning him about like that. Until a point, all that craziness. Until they started tackling, because he wasn't gonna say much. Until they started tackling the aspect of his mother. And he says he loved his mom, so he gave up the name. That's how it happened. It was a group that working together, right? We had Chris and Riley was working together, and then another person did the third rape. So it was 3 different rapes by different people. It came to find out that Chris raped the first victim, Ann. Chris raped the first victim, the second victim, Beth. Chris raped Beth. Riley raped Ann. So the first rape victim, Ann, was raped by Riley. Beth was raped by Chris. Carol was raped by this person named Ironclad. And Iron Cross X. And they come to find out his name was Tony. So they went to get Tony and sat down with Tony and everything, and Tony was a little smug and all that stuff, and they talking and everything, and his lawyer was getting off and all that craziness. And yeah, we getting this craziness with Chris. No, the lawyer was the guy. Alright, Chris' lawyer was there, and they was talking and everything, and that's how Chris' lawyer didn't know all that stuff. And he said, "Oh, I scratched your back, you scratched mine." The lawyer said, "What are you talking about?" And then they explained that he had a partner. And that's what they said it was Tony, and he was the ringleader. So they got Tony, and Tony lawyer was a woman. And they was talking all that stuff like that. And Tony said no, and all that craziness, and they talk about the website, and it's craziness. And now they saying that they had a GPA phone record of him being at the murder of the crime. She said, "What's your warrant?" Now, mind you, they were supposed to get a warrant about searching the things, but they didn't get it yet. So they got the phone and saying that, it was pinned you in there or something. Without the warrant, it would be admissible because you didn't legally got that. And you can't invade somebody's privacy and use that against them in the court. So I said the detective schooled over because when they went to the court, they got the case, they got the motion of dismissing the evidence of the phone records. And since they had no evidence on stuff like that, they was trying to dismiss the case against Tony. And they got that granted. So they schooled up. They did hardcore evidence. And see, they got the hardcore evidence and the collaborative witness because Riley and Chris pleaded. And they got jail time. One got 12 years, one got 10 years. So I was like, oh snap. I said, damn, so they got to get Tony. And now Tony was like, yeah, he's the thing. And he was explaining about how we are the thing and we are dominant and we supposed to get everything we want and the happiness is granted and we full extent to the law and we above it. I said, oh my God, this is a nutcase. So he was being smug with himself, cocky. Now, they say, you know what? They had a little meeting and they say, you know what? Carissa said, the person who knows Tony the best is his mother. Mom was talking. She said, "Oh yada yada. I was not a helicopter pilot. I was none of this. All that craziness. He could do all that. Tony was this. He was a lonely, all crazy kid, all that stuff. He did whatever do want to do. It follows around. So I don't keep tabs on him." And they say, you know, somebody named Carol. He said, "Oh yeah, he talk about this girl all the time. I think went to the prom together." Now, showing the picture of Carol. Carol said, "I don't know who he is. I never met this guy." And he said he said with prom you, so Carol went to prom with someone else. So basically, he got rejected. And since he got rejected, he took that personally and realized that he felt like whoever was Carol was dealing with, he had to deal with that. So he actually shot and killed the guy, murdered the guy because it was personal. Because he felt like he was rejected by Carol. So they had another sit down. They was talking, and they were trying to talk about things. They brought Carol inside, and he saw her, and he was like, "Oh," she said, "I don't know who he is." And he said, "Well, he seemed like he know you. He seemed like he know you from high school. He took a prom." I said, "No," and they was talking and talking, and it started tricking him up because the lawyer was trying to get him to shut up and not to say much, but he was kept going, getting smugged, and he was explaining all this whole deal about the website and what's the purpose and all that craziness. And he basically was running down how he was following this girl. He knew about her old address, when she went to school, everything. And he said a number. He called a number and left a message to go to the prom, and you rejected me. So he realized he was following her and stuff. And she said, "Why did you shot?" And because she said, "I just deserve what they got. How the hell they live a life of happiness, and I get schooled, and I've been lonely, I get rejected, and I get not something. So I just do what I have to do." So, as this is a ringleader, he was the one who did that. He the one who raped Carol and shot John. And I was like, wow. And he said all that stuff. So there's the arrest for the murder because he went over and went crazy. Now, when they was about to take him out, she said, "You stupid bastard. You idiot." So like that. She said, "I never got your number. The number you called, I never got no voicemail because that was not my number." So Benson was like, "Oh." She said, "You called someone else." And so I'm saying, damn, he raped and shot the wrong person. All because he's so obsessed with this one person, he thought that rejected him. She said, "I never got your voicemail. You called the wrong person. You stupid idiot." So I said, "Oh, I don't know who you are. You called." I was like, wow, that was a plot twist. And that's how it ended. I said, "Oh, all that, and you had the wrong number. You was following this girl, and you called the wrong number. That was never," she said, "that was never her number. And so you called someone else, they rejected you, and now you retaliate against me and my boyfriend. You killed my boyfriend because whatever reason you thought I rejected you." I said, "Oh." I said rejection could be a cruel thing. It leads to something else. But this was a good case. It was very complicated. You had to really follow it. But once you got in the groove of it, you gotta understand. It's like these three boys was all connected. Tony was a ringleader with Ronnie and Chris, and how the order of rape was switched and all that stuff. That I said, "Oh, who raped what? Who raped this person?" I said, "Dang, that was good." Can't wait to see next week. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscribe button under this video. The red subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. Please share my videos as well. And I'll talk to you all later. Peace.